and welcome to Talk 90s to Me, where we know very well that you only get what you give. And so, dear listener, we are asking you to give a little bit in order to get Talk 90s in full glory. Yes, this is a plug for our Patreon, a place where you can donate a small amount of money, say around £4 a month. And in return, you not only get the pleasure of knowing that your money is going into the Talk 90s bank of memories, you also get some fab extras. These include extra episodes on silly things like shoes and the opportunity to buy some accompanying merch, such as T-shirts or, yep, you guessed it, bucket hats. All the money you donate goes into paying the people who make it, not just me, but fab producer Liam, editors Tom, Robin and Simon, and camera tweaker Chris. So why not search up Talk 90s to Me Patreon, that's Patreon, or follow the link in the show notes to find out more. Now let's get on with it. This is Talk 90s to Me, where we find a sweeping ballad, put some jingly bells on it, add some singing children, a video that involves poncing about in all white clothing, and quite possibly a wide selection of farm animals. Et voila, we've got ourselves a Christmas number one. I'm Miranda Sawyer, and with me to talk through some quite surprising 90s hits is comedian and author Marc Burrows, who has a brilliant book called, wait for it, The Story of the Christmas Number One, Mistletoe and Vinyl. What a great title. Hello, Mark.
Hello.
Hello.
It wasn't the original title.
Oh, really? Mistletoe and Vinyl's good, though, man. I love it.
It took a bit of rain. The original title was going to be Tinsel and Fire from the Greg Lake song, Eyes Full of Tinsel and Fire. But genuinely, my publisher said that they thought it would leave us open to a health and safety risk.
Yes, you can't have that.
It sounds like I made that up, but that's actually a conversation that we had.
Okay, I like Mistletoe and Vinyl. That made me laugh when I saw that. Okay, you are literally an expert on this topic. You know all. We are very excited to have you talk through the 90s Christmas number ones. Before we get into it, I'd just like to say they're quite a varied lot, aren't they? There's some right dodgy ones and some proper bangers.
There is some really good stuff in there.
Yeah.
Like, occasionally, the British public has taste, and You expect all the Christmas number ones to be terrible, but actually there are some really good ones. Particularly in the 90s, there are some bangers.
Yeah, and what's really funny is I expect Christmas number ones to be good. I'm such an optimist. I'm like, oh, what? There's some bad ones? Okay, so it's also quite a good time for Christmas number ones, meaning that, like, after the 90s, kind of from early 2000 onwards, all the number ones, Christmas number ones, were kind of taken up by whoever won, pop stars, or, you know, kind of reality television contest, really, wasn't it? So this was like, to me, it feels more proper.
Yeah, it's kind of the last gasp of the kind of organic Christmas number one. Although there are a couple later that kind of come out of nowhere. Because one of the great things about Christmas number one is the songs that come out of nowhere that the industry can't predict, that sort of capture the imagination. Plus, you do work up to Rage Against the Machine, which is a 90s song.
I know, I did think that was like our extra little, like, gold, wasn't it? So, like, Rage Against the Machine, essentially, with the 1992 track, get to number one. Because everybody gets completely hacked off with all the reality show winners, don't they? And that's in like 2009.
2009. That's for me the one that proves the point. That's the one that proves why people care.
Yeah.
Like, it's the one, we're not letting this uppity little man dictate this weird thing that we've decided is important to us and only us. Like, only the UK has Christmas number one. Every other country doesn't do it. Every other country has a chart, and most of them have a Christmas, but we are the only one that put them together to make a national sport. And that's really weird.
No, it's not really weird. It's why we're so proud of ourselves.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's exactly the sort of weird batshit stuff about Britain that I like.
Yeah, me too. Exactly. Okay, let's get into it. We're going to start with 1990, and it is, well, you know what it is, but I will say, it is Cliff Richard and Saviour's Day. Okay, so I thought it was quite funny that it was still Cliff Richard in the early 90s. Do you know what I mean? I mean, not that he isn't, you know, hasn't had some bangers of his own, you know, early on in the career, but the fact that he was still around in 1990 to me it's not how I remember the 90s, but he was. And Saviour's Day was his second Christmas number one, because he had one in 1988, which I have to say, Mistletoe and Wine, much better track.
It's a much better. I mean, Saviour's Day is a poor man's Mistletoe and Wine, but there's one in the middle. Like, Cliff gets three in a row, essentially, because Cliff's on Band-Aid 2, which is the 1989 Christmas number one.
Oh, how does he do it?
Like, everybody else on Band-Aid 2, which is the worst of the Band-Aids. But Band-Aid 2 is like, it's the Stock Aitken Waterman one. So most of them are, it's Kylie and Jason, and then Bros are on it, and people like that, and then Cliff's on it. Yeah. But that's because Cliff was absolutely massive. In 1989, Cliff Richard sells out 2 nights at Wembley Stadium.
Wow, it's funny, you forget. I just think you forget.
He
how
never went away.
enormous was it? Well, no, he never went away. Okay, so like in 1990, he's 50. He looks amazing. I have to say, I'm going to discuss the video. But this song, Saviour's Day, it was written by Chris Eaton in October 1989. And he was convinced it was a Cliff song. He thought this is going to be absolutely brilliant. But he was told by kind of Cliff's managers that actually all of Cliff's songs, this is a quote, for the following year were already booked in. There would be no space for it. Don't you think that's weird? What a way to approach pop music. Anyway, he had all his songs like mapped out. There's no room for it, right? But this guy, Chris Eaton, was like, no, this is definitely a Cliff song. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. So he goes to this party with a tape of the song, he's recorded of it, and insists that Cliff listens to it, and they leave the party and listen to it in Cliff's Rolls Royce. That's the detail that I really like.
In the Cliffmobile.
In the Cliffmobile. And obviously it sounds great in the Cliffmobile, and he says, yes, I like it. It could be a number one. All right. So he was correct. If you were to describe this song to people that had never heard it, how would you describe it?
Apart from like Mistletoe and Wine, but worse.
Yes.
Which it is. It is. I mean, it's got all the kind of textbook things you think of about a Christmas song. It's a waltz time. It's like dun 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 dun. You can sway to it.
You can sway.
It's got that. There's a mass choir and stuff on it. It's Cliff talking about Jesus, one of his favourite subjects.
Yeah.
It is utterly inoffensive in the grand scheme of things. I can't find in my heart to actively dislike Saviour's Day. It's fine.
It's fine, exactly. I have to say, he's singing about Jesus, but he's also acting a little bit like Jesus, isn't he? Because in the video, he's got a long white coat. He's on Durdle Door for some reason in Dorset. Who knows why? It's quite hot. But he's got a scarf on to show that it's Christmas. And then towards the end of the song, it's like he becomes Jesus because a whole load of kids and locals all come down in their hats and scarves, even though it's obviously a boiling day, to sway along.
And it's arms aloft,
top.
crucifix pose.
Yeah.
It's all there, yeah. He has got a little bit messianic on occasion as Cliff.
Yes.
And it gets worse when we get to the end of the 90s, but we'll talk about that in a bit. But, the heart is in the right place.
The heart is in the right place, but we don't really recommend, do we? And also, sadly, I have to say, it knocked Ice Ice Baby off the number one slot. And I have to say, Ice Ice Baby is a superior track.
It is a superior track, yeah, it is. There is something satisfying about this weird British relic knocking off an American superstar.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that happens, and because Vanilla Ice was the biggest thing in the world at the time. That one song was completely world-conqueringly massive, and I don't like it. We'll get into this later. I don't like it when massive American stars are Christmas number one. It feels like it's
that's true.
It's not as much fun. Whereas old Cliff creaking out a Jesus-y song, and it is inoffensive. I mean, no one chooses to listen to Saviour's Day. It's not like you might reach for Mistletoe and Wine out of nostalgia. Saviour's Day is just there, but I can't bring it in my heart to actually dislike it.
Okay, we'll move on from Cliff. Okay. It's like a minor. It's a nice way to perhaps start the 90s.
But the first number one of the 90s, as he was the first Christmas number one of the 60s.
He's amazing. He is amazing, I have to say. Okay, 1991, Christmas number one. This is Queen. It's a double A-side, Bohemian Rhapsody, which obviously originally was released in 1975. And These Are the Days of Our Lives. It's a double A-side single. It comes out on the 9th of December. It debuts at number one, and it debuts at number one because Freddie Mercury has died. It's a really, really moving song, isn't it? I mean, I have to say, Bohemian Rhapsody, that's just there, isn't it? Bohemian Rhapsody. Bohemian Rhapsody is just
it's in the ether. It's part of culture. It's over there. But
it's just us. It's like written through as like a stick of rock. We've got it, right? But These Are the Days of Our Lives is like a really exceptional track, I think.
Yeah, it's great Queen. It's a great later day Queen song as well. Yeah. You get that bit at the end, the I Still Love You. Which just gets you. And given the place it is in Freddie Mercury's story, it's really good. And I like. There's a lot of people who don't like Queen and find them a bit much, and particularly might find late Queen a bit plasticky in places. I'm not one of them. I'm unashamedly up for it. I like that song, but it also means they get a record breaker. They become the first song. They get the first song to be Christmas number one twice with the same song, with the same recording. There had been a Christmas number one twice that was the same song.
So Bohemian Rhapsody was a Christmas number one back in the 70s, and then is now in that 91.
So the first time the same recording goes back up to Christmas number one, but the double A side makes it more interesting. And these are the days of our lives. It's just a really beautiful song.
It's a really beautiful song. So essentially, if people don't know, so Freddie Mercury, obviously the most amazing frontman for Queen, and had been for years, and then he was getting ill, and there was a lot of conjecture in the press because he'd lost a lot of weight. He looked ill, and essentially 2 days before he dies, he issues a public statement saying that he is confirming that he has tested HIV positive, he has AIDS, but he had wanted to keep the information private. And he issues this statement, and literally he dies within a couple of days, really about 24 hours after issuing his statement. He was 45.
Oh, blimey. I'm 44.
I know,
That's
I've
depressing.
forgotten that. He was so, he was really young.
At the time, in 1991, I was 10.
Yeah.
So I thought of Queen as old men, as you do. So the idea that actually, no, that's cut down in your prime. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was just such a flamboyant and amazing kind of front. He couldn't be anything other than a front person of a band.
He was born to be the singer of Queen.
Exactly. There was nothing else he could ever do. And he was really, really loved, absolutely loved by everybody, actually. And obviously the tabloids had treated people with AIDS absolutely terribly from through, kind of the late 80s onwards. And this was a huge shock and kind of very... I don't want to say it was kind of lip-smacking, but the tabloids had a habit of lip-smacking over these kind of things. But people loved him so much that was kind of, I think, absolutely superseded because he was so loved. And also this video for These Are the Days of Our Lives is very moving because he's clearly not well. He's very thin. He's got quite a lot of makeup on. They shoot it in black and white, so he looks great. He's got this mad waistcoat on. Can you remember?
Yes. Snappy dresser. He'd always been a flamboyantly awful dresser.
Yeah.
One of the things I like about Freddie Mercury, until he settled into his vest era.
Yeah. That was always nice.
If you look at him in the 70s, he was always wearing really weird stuff. And actually for that guy to have aged into his 40s wearing stuff like that, that's perfect. It makes perfect sense.
This waistcoat has got cats all over it. It's so odd. Anyway, he's singing it, and he sings it really, really movingly. It's in black and white. And like you say, the very last things he says is, I love you. To the camera. It's incredibly moving. Oh, my goodness.
I mean, I think this is not Christmassy, but it's also kind of lovely. The two things that made the most difference in normalising attitudes to HIV in this country was the death of Freddie Mercury and Mark Fowler in EastEnders. Those two things, absolutely, it was basically people going, oh, this is a thing that we can now relate to. And there's a famous person that we love that's died of this. And now there's a person on telly and they're explaining it all to us in very patient detail with a good storyline. And now we get it. Okay, brilliant. If Tucker from Grange Hill can get over this, everything's all right. And so it's an important record in that way and fitting. Christmas number one can be emotional, it can be nostalgic, and because that's what Christmas can be as well. I think it links. Semi-related people often. I've been asked a few times if I think that if Cliff will ever get another Christmas number one, and I think if he could, there is one way where he might, if it's timed well.
Yeah.
For the same reason that Freddie got, but with considerably less affection, that Freddie got his Christmas number one, I think.
Yeah, that's true. That is a real insight, I think, because Christmas, obviously, it's a time when people remember the people that they've lost anyway. So if you've also got that with Freddie Mercury, who was so loved and so young, it is a really emotional one, I have to say.
Often a lot of these Christmas records, Christmas number one records, are records that allow people to all feel part of the same moment, which is why so many of them are the biggest song of all time, because they're allowing you to feel something. And Band-Aid is the same thing. Everyone goes out and they buy the Band-Aid single, partly to help people, partly because Thatcher said there's no such thing as society, and everyone else is going, yes, there is. And we're proving it, and we are all going to have the same moment, the same feeling, be involved in the same thing. And I think the death of Freddie Mercury is another one of those things where everyone's feeling the same thing. The death of Princess Diana did the same thing, which is why it's represented by a pop record, which becomes the best-selling single of all time. I think it's the same reason.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, completely. I thought I would have a look at also what was in the top 10 of that, because sometimes I think it's quite interesting to see To me, that's a great Christmas number one. I would rather that Freddie Mercury had not died, but, so young, but that's a great number.
But it's an excellent way. It's an excellent tribute.
Yes,
yeah,
it's a beautiful tribute.
It's not a strong chart, though.
No, it's not. But it's funny because obviously to me, the early 90s is partly really quite strongly to do with dance music, with rave and stuff like that. And I found a few in the top 10 of that time. So an absolute banger, Too Blind to See It, Kim Sims, which is you're too young to remember it, but that is a complete banger. There's the KLF, Justified and Ancient, featuring Tammy Wynette. And there's also...
Absolute banger.
Also an absolute banger. And there's also Shaft with Rhubarb and Custard.
Which I do remember that.
Of course you do, you were 10.
That
That's
early
ideal.
90s tendency to do raved up children's songs, which was genuinely appealing.
Yes, if you were a child.
Or pilled up in a field. It works in both ways.
Exactly. Okay, 1992. Okay, now we're here for a huge banger, aren't we? Okay, you know what this is. I'm going to say it, but you know what it is. Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You. Okay, I know I've got your theory that it should be a British banger, but this is an undeniable banger. It's okay.
It's an incredible song. I'm not by no means am I taking away from that. I just like it when something unexpected happens.
Yeah.
And this is one of those Christmas number ones that is unstoppable. It's a little bit like Bohemian Rhapsody was in 1975. It's number one before Christmas. It's number one after Christmas. Christmas comes and goes, and it just happens to be the biggest song in the world. It's just that Whitney didn't care about being Christmas number one, and whereas a British artist really would care. They'd really, really want it.
Yeah.
But it's undeniably brilliant. I mean, it's Dolly Parton's "I Will Always Love You," sung by one of the greatest vocalists of all time. No one's I'm not gonna deny the brilliance of it.
No, it's so good. I mean, it is still amazing. I mean, I've got some of the stats which are just unbelievable. Okay. It tops the singles charts in 34 countries. It sold over 24 million copies worldwide. It is the best-selling single by a female artist of all time. It was the best-selling single of 1992 in the UK. It was the fastest single to ride to number one due to an explosion in sales and radio airplay. It was her longest run on the top of the charts in the US, surpassing her previous record, which is only 3 weeks, with Greatest Love of All. It's the longest running number one single from a soundtrack album. It holds the record for most consecutive weeks at number one in the US by a solo artist, sharing the title with Elton John's Candle in the Wind 97. I mean, you're right. It's undeniable. This is like a kind of like planet or something like in the pop firmament. You can't deny this song, can you?
And has one of the best key changes of all time.
Yeah, it does.
Gated snare, slam, and incredible. Absolutely. Goosebumps there. We're all there. Light is in the air. No, I'm not going to deny the greatness of that song.
And it's also still quite sweet because it's still used. You must have seen these things on the internet where there's like little kids waiting, holding a drumstick for that key change where it goes, and they have to time it just right, and they're in like a stadium of people, and they have to go dunk so she can do her final bits, and it's still happening now. If they get it right, they get the honours.
And Snow in the video as well. There is some Christmasiness there.
Yeah.
They've got the bodyguard stuff in the video.
They have got the bodyguard. So obviously, just to say that it's a song that was written and originally recorded by Dolly Parton, as we know. And the contrast between the two way they sing it, I think, is really interesting. So Dolly's is heartbreak. It's about the end of a relationship, and it's really tender and quiet. And the thing about the Whitney Houston version is it kind of slightly starts off like that because it's acoustic and it's a bit like an apology. And then it's like a warrior or something, isn't it? It's like, I will never stop loving you. You can't stop me. Do you know what I mean? It's not like a heartbreak. It's like she's leading someone into battle, isn't it?
It starts to sound like a threat. There is that brilliant fact as well that Dolly Parton wrote, and it may be apocryphal, but I don't think it is, that Dolly wrote that and Jolene on the same day.
Yeah.
Which is just, if true, is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's completely mad. And also, I have a feeling that Dolly Parton would Christmas number one. She's the kind of person that would appreciate it. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, it's from the film The Bodyguard with Kevin Costner. It's not a great film. I wouldn't bother. But, when she was first cast in it, Clive Davis, who was he's a very famous kind of head of the record company that she was on, was like, I'm not sure about this because there's no singing in it, so she really might fail. So they insisted that she do the track. And they actually couldn't think of the final track, which this one is. They were going to do What Becomes of the Broken Hearted. And they tried it and it didn't work. And then Paul Young brought it out.
Paul Young just pissing on everyone's
he ruined
chips.
it for Whitney. So they had to start again, and they decided on this one.
I can picture her singing What Becomes of the Broken Hearted. I can't picture it being as good as that.
No, I mean they really tried it, and actually Whitney herself was just like, this isn't very good.
It doesn't suit, like, you want the big money notes, you want belting.
Yeah.
And there's not got the scope for her to be Whitney Houston on that. Whereas I Will Always Love You, like give her that, let her take a good long run at it.
Yeah.
And then, here's the money note, it's coming. She's running up to it. Here we go. She's doing it. Snare, boom, here it is.
It's
incredible.
It's like a kind of gymnast running along, isn't it? And then hitting the vault and doing the somersaults. That's what she's doing. It's so good.
And
it's
it was
absolutely brilliant.
Unavoidable at the time as well. Like we're not long after Bryan Adams as well. And those two songs seem, to me, it's like, because they're both from films. And and
emotional.
And they're both ballady, and they both just seem to be around forever.
And they've also both got a kind of gap, haven't they? There's a point where there's a breath, and then they go in. Oh my God. Anyway, so it's absolutely. It is a fantastic song. It came back into the charts in February 2012 when she died. She was 48. I mean, oh my God. This is terrible. I don't mean to make you down, but this is like dreadful, man.
But it's a pop milestone. And I'm glad she did it. They took that decision. Because you can't imagine the shape of Whitney Houston's career without that song.
No.
Like, there's great songs before, there's great songs after. But it's kind of the peak, that's the pinnacle. That's where it all kind of, everything slopes down off that.
Yeah.
And it's as in the way that goes to number one. That's was it number one when it recharts when she dies?
Yeah.
That is the one. In the same way that when Michael Jackson died, people reached for Man in the Mirror. Like there are certain songs that just sort of define an artist, just freeze them on the page at that exact moment, and I think that's hers.
Okay. 1993. So, what was Christmas number one in 1993, Mark? Can you tell us?
Christmas number one in 1993 is one of the most brilliant, awful, completely, like, only would happen in this country stories ever. Mr Blobby is Christmas number one, 1993. Beating Take That. Take That at their peak. Take That in their pomp.
Yeah.
Right. This is Take That. This is Robbie era Take That. This is Take That when they've just released the Everything Changes album, when they've just had massive hits. Relight My Fire. Bang. Everything Changes. Bang. Like, they were the biggest band in the country. Odds on for Christmas number one. Everyone thought that's where it was going. And then in staggers the spirit of mischief and mayhem that is Mr Blobby, just spoiling everything on purpose. And it's so weird. It's so weird that it happens.
Odd. It's so odd. But he does it. What's weird about that Blobby track, I mean, other than the track, which I have to say is just terrible. I mean, it's just awful. I can't even like it, ironically. It's
insane,
terrifying.
though. Musically.
Absolutely terrifying song.
Like, it's got a rave bit, it's got a children's choir bit, it's got a sort of squelchy kids' TV theme bit.
It's terrible.
It's the lyrics is just so odd. The video is absolutely
the video is mad,
unhinged,
which we'll go to. But like, I just want to say like two things. So, but it kind of knocks two massive acts off number one. So basically, Meatloaf is up there with I'll Do Anything for Love, I Won't Do That. And that'd been number one for 7 weeks.
Again, that's another one like a Whitney, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like you cannot stop that. That is a train that is going and it will knock you over. So that's been number one for 7 weeks. Blobby comes out, knocks it off number one, and then Take That, Bring Out Babe. They go to number one. They think, okay, we're locked on for Christmas number one. It's the week before Christmas.
Yeah.
And then Blobby comes back and knocks them off as well.
Which nobody ever does. And it was either going to be Take That or it was going to be a big meaty pink figure that's slightly spotty with a song that you'd never expect everyone to like. Which was either going to be Meatloaf or Mr Blobby.
That's mean. I love Meatloaf. I will not have that.
I got Bat Out of Hell 2 on cassette that year for Christmas. I love Jim Steinman with every fibre of my being. I am not cool. I'd never pretend I'm cool. I like
everybody
Meatloaf.
loves that song. Okay, I watched the Blobby video. Oh my God. I think the technical term is fucking terrifying. Don't you think? It's like, it's really unhinged, but also it's filmed in this really weird way. So obviously, Mr Blobby, he's a character. Well, is he a character? He's a thing that, it's a man in a suit. The suit is shiny. He's got a big kind of head. He's shaped like an egg, shaped like the Teletubbies, really. But he's plastic and he's pink and he's got yellow spots on him. He's got a kind of weird bow tie and boobly eyes, right? He's quite odd looking. And in the video, the way it's filmed, it would make you sick. Do you know what I mean? It's like quite seesawy. They come in and out of his face. It's too close all the time. Like, at no point is there kind of a further out shot. Everyone is too close. The kids are too close. We're too close to Blobby. It's just all awful.
Did somebody just zoom by mistake?
I don't know.
When they were editing it, the editor just zoomed in. Right. It's also, I don't know what the theme of, what is the pitch for that video? Because it's like, well, it's Mr. Blobby gadding about. There's a bit with Jeremy Clarkson as his driver. There's a bit with Carol Vorderman doing some maths, I think. And then it goes into a bit of music video parodies, but not many of them.
The really weird ones. So it parodies Shakespeare's sisters, isn't it?
With a still from the actual video. It starts off with a still from the Shakespeare sister video, and then it goes into and then it's a woman who looks
a bit like her, but not
giving him a sponge bath.
Oh, it's so weird. And then there's another bit where it's like he's trying to be Robert Palmer's Addicted to Love, and that's like. Why those songs? Like,
I don't think Quality Control was ever at the top of the list for Mr. Blobby, because it's so
weird.
The whole thing is so unexpected and so strange. Mr. Blobby is invented to be by Noel Edmonds to be like to prank celebrities.
Yeah,
and that's it. That's all it's meant. Like, they didn't even expect him to last beyond one series, because you can't have a prank show if everyone recognises the thing.
Is, yeah.
But people just started to really respond to it. It's so odd. It becomes like a national phenomenon.
Yeah.
Prince Edward at the time had just started to his relationship with whoever it is that Prince Edward had a relationship with. Sophie Rhys-Jones?
Sophie
Rhys
they're married. They're married now. She's some kind of princess.
She's
now.
a duchess of whatever.
Yeah.
She worked for a PR company at the time that did the PR for the Mr. Blobby single.
Really?
So
God.
the papers start referring to her as Blobby's girl, and they and they call the palace asking for an opinion on Mr. Blobby. No one gives one. But there's one point where Mr. Blobby is given 5,000 to 1 odds of being the next England manager.
Oh my God.
But to put that into perspective, Michael Jackson is given 100,000 to 1 odds on being the next England manager. And Michael Jackson is allegedly...
It's Michael Jackson.
Well, allegedly a human man, as opposed to, more or less, opposed to Mr. Blobby, who is a fictional character and yet apparently is more likely to be given the job. It's so odd. Kids loved him. Like, that's the thing that you forget, is that children genuinely loved Mr. Blobby. He was a very successful children's character.
Yeah.
And if you knew any kids at the time, I remember there was a little boy across the road who was obsessed with Mr. Blobby. And that's how it sold so many records, because people bought it for their kids. And it's the thing about the rules changing for Christmas number 1. When people don't normally buy records because they're buying them as presents. And kids loved him so much.
It's funny, I watched a few videos of, clips on YouTube of old Noel's house party. I never watched it at the time. I wasn't interested. I just didn't watch it. And Blobby is he is a bit creepy, but the thing that he does, which, I can't help it, it just really makes me laugh, is he has no regard for his own safety at all. So if he's in a bad mood or something, he just runs into a wall, or he just falls. And the way that he falls is so full on that it does make you laugh. Do you know what I mean? In that you be framed way.
Slapstick.
It's just really funny that when he falls over, because he just properly goes.
And there's loads of people try to rationalise the Mr. Blobby phenomenon at the time. There's loads of academics going, well, it connects back to the spirit of mischief and riot that is at the central to. And then
he's Puck from Shakespeare.
Yeah, exactly that sort of thing. And there's somebody else going, well, it's a symptom of a mass hallucination that is kind of echoing back from the Christmas drinks we're all about to have. And all of this kind of stuff, and it's so weird. But thing is, there's a reason it beats Take That. It's because Take That do the classic Christmas number 1 thing, trying to get Christmas number 1 of keeping a ballad back from an album to be the Christmas single. But Babe, and I love Marky, I love Mark Owen, but Babe is a weak sauce song.
Yep.
It is not a strong Take That song. So all the thaters, as they were, came out and bought it in the first week and get it as number 1, but it doesn't ignite the general population to stay there, because everyone goes, no, it's all right.
It's okay, yeah, I'll go for Blobby. I've got some Blobby facts for you. Okay. Mr. Blobby costume was listed on eBay. The costume fetched a bid of £62,101, right? But however, the buyer later backed out of the sale. Mr Blobby auditioned for the 16th series of Britain's Got Talent, where he performed a magic act. After failing to make Simon Cowell disappear and instead gunging him, he got 4 red buzzers and didn't go through. In 1994, a Sun article reported that Mr Blobby reduced a young girl to tears after throwing her birthday cake on the floor during a show in Luton, causing the girl's father to mount the stage and assault Mr Blobby. And there's just he also made a guest appearance in 2012, an episode of the Big Fat Quiz of the Year, the Big Fat Quiz of the 90s, and he broke the set chasing Jack Whitehall. Yeah, and also, so there was the original bloke in the Blobby suit. It was called Barry Killerby. He was, of course, a classically trained Shakespearean actor.
He was doing As You Like It when he got the job.
It always is, isn't it? It's always someone like that gets those jobs.
The Mirror did an expose on who he was around the same time, around the time of the Christmas #1, and like they tried to interview his wife and stuff, saying, "What's it like to be Blobby's girl?" And she slammed the door in her face.
Oh yeah, she's like
the article even says the Blobbymobile, and then describes what his car is, and it's not like any kind of exciting car. It wasn't pink with yellow spots. It was just like
a Fiat Uno.
Yeah, it's they say it's a V-Reg Fiesta or something, and it's absolutely like the level of interest in Mr Blobby was completely off the scale.
Yeah, it's really mad. The guy who invented him was the kind of writer of Noel's House Party, and his name was Charlie Adams. He died in 2013. Anyway, he told his friend, because Mr Blobby essentially doesn't talk, he just says kind of bubbly, blobby noises.
Yeah. And that's it, and then falls over.
And tries and hugs everyone. Inappropriate moments this is a quote, underneath it all, really a drunken Glaswegian who wants to be everybody's pal. That's who it is.
Once you understand that, it does make perfect sense. There was a letter, because I did, when I was researching the book, I used Music Week was really good, the music industry magazine, and you try and vote for like industry gossip and stuff. And there was a letter sent in. Everyone was complaining about the Mr Blobby single, about how it's terrible for the music industry and it's a bad record. And there was one letter going, I think we should be happy that Mr Blobby got to #1. I'm the only person in the British music industry that's happy about this record. It's training children to like music, and this is the record buyers of the public, and we should be encouraging them and not poo-pooing them for their taste. And you know who wrote that? Simon Cowell.
Oh, you're joking.
And it was the first thing, it's the first bit of I can make. It's like Simon Cowell A&R for blah, 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 blah. And then he comes back like a year later with the Power Rangers theme. And he's obviously paying attention to...
this is how you do it. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's like, this is how you make your money.
Then he has the cheek in 2009 to go, I've not taken anything away from Christmas #1. Christmas #1s are always dreadful records like Mr Blobby. And you're like, oh, you hypocrite.
Yeah, you said you
done the
liked
reading.
It. Yeah, you could hold it up. Say,
Some of us have long memories, Simon.
Okay. 1994 is E17 Stay Another Day, which we obviously love. Mm-hmm. We absolutely love. But we can't go into it too much because we actually spoke about it last week. I did an interview with Tony Mortimer. But I'm like...
It's a wonderful song.
It's an absolutely brilliant song.
Did you do the whole thing about how they didn't add the bass and drums? The producers had to go on holiday, so they put on all the orchestra stuff. Then they went on holiday, handed over what they'd done as a work in progress so far without the bass and drums on it, and saying we're going to finish it when we get back. And then the label just like, do not touch this record. This is exactly right. This is a Christmas #1.
Yeah, and it was. And it's completely perfect. And Tony Mortimer, we love E17. And we're just to say what they kept off the #1 spot, which we do know.
It's a really good chart, 1994.
Yeah, really good chart. So they keep off Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas. Like, it was just it's unbelievable. That's #2. #3 is Whatever by Oasis. There's also the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in the top 10, and Zig and Zag.
And Zig and Zag with them girls, they all love me. Yeah, which is another Simon Cowell project. He put those two out. That's literally him the year before going, Mr Blobby, children sell records at Christmas, right? And then the next year, and then two top 5 singles.
Amazing.
I mean, Power Rangers was a massive phenomenon at the time. Zig and Zag, you forget about.
Like, no, I never forget.
The history of Zig and Zag is fascinating because they're
definitely my heroes.
Because they were Irish superstars before Chris Evans dragged them over to do the Big Breakfast. They were like massive in Ireland. I didn't know that before then.
Yeah.
So great. But then you've got Britpop coming in.
Yeah. You can feel it a little bit.
Yeah, there's a Blur single in the top 10. I think it's either End of a Century or I think it is End of a Century.
Yeah. The ballad.
Yeah, exactly. Like all of the sort of big hitters are starting to line up, and there was a little bit of a thing at the time. I was like, are Oasis going to be Christmas #1? Could Oasis be Christmas #1? Which like at the time I genuinely thought might happen based on nothing.
I think what's interesting about Christmas #1s though is that it kind of puts everything into perspective. So you can love Blur, you can love Oasis, you can acknowledge how big they were and how big they are now. But when it comes to Christmas #1s, actually those records don't do it. It's got to be something that goes across all ages, that is for kids, that's for grannies, that's
totally.
just slightly nutty.
And Stay Another Day fits because E17, they're a boy band that appealed to straight men, which is really rare. It's a great ballad. It's a really, really good, solid song. It feels Christmassy, even if it isn't necessarily in of itself Christmassy. It ticks everything.
It's great. It's great. Okay, so 1995. Okay, this is not a song that I'm a huge fan of. It is Michael Jackson's Earth Song. Okay, so we're in an era of Michael Jackson at this point in 1995. So, I mean, we can epitomise this era by the fact that he brings out an album called His Story. History. Past, Present and Future, Book 1. I mean, how pompous can you be? And he launches it by floating a massive kind of 32-foot tall statue of him down the River Thames. I remember this really clearly. It's so odd. And they literally had to open Tower Bridge to let it through. It's so big. And crowds are kind of gathering. So that's what he thinks of himself. He's completely nuts. Like, he's absolutely nuts. Earth Song bills itself as a kind of like a climate crisis ecology song. So there's things about it that's fine. But the way that it's presented in the video and stuff, the way that he is presented is it's just awful.
I think we're all on Jarvis's side here.
Yeah, we definitely are. Like, before Jarvis does anything, we've seen the video, and the video goes on for days. It's really pompous. We have dying elephants. We have people
with him shouting, "What about elephants?"
Yeah.
Literally, what about elephants, Michael? It's not like there aren't good Michael Jackson music moments around it because History's got Stranger in Moscow on it, which is actually a really good song. And he does Blood on the Dance Floor around then as well, which is a really good song. Yeah. So it's not like he's completely forgotten how, but it's just there was always sneaking up from kind of the late 80s onwards. You've got that sort of do-goody, messianic kind of soppy end of Michael Jackson.
But it's also funny. I mean, I don't mind a do-goody, and I actually don't mind a soppy. I do really object to the kind of messianic. I am like Jesus. He's not even like cute like when Cliff Richard's doing it. It's just not. It's
because it's not got that kind of inbuilt slightly shoddy shittiness that Cliff
really
brings with him
as
a which is just, again, it's a British thing. It's like, it's a sort of rough around the edges kind of. It's like the difference between Band-Aid and We Are the World. Like,
yes, exactly.
You've got one that's a bit scrubbed up and rough around the edges, and one that's all a little bit too polished. But it's not. If I never hear Earth Song again as long as I live, then I'll consider the rest of my life to have gone well.
Yes, it's very true. I'm going to quote some of the lyrics. You have mentioned the elephants, but it goes, "What about elephants? Have we lost their trust?" Sorry. "What about crying whales?" What about crying whales?
What about crying whales? What about how can you tell? How can you tell if a whale is crying?
Michael can tell. Michael knows. Please. Okay, so we're going to very briefly deal with Jarvis just because we should always, we should mention it. But anyway, before we get there, I just thought I'd mention how it was recorded. So he writes this song at the Marriott Hotel during when he's touring Bad, right? So he's written it quite a long time ago. He wrote it in 88. Decided he's going to record it. Fine. He hires Guy Pratt, who is like a British bassist, to play on the track because Guy's on Like a Prayer, and he thinks, he's pretty good, right? Anyway, according to Guy, Michael Jackson was recovering from plastic surgery at the time of the recording and hid under a mixing desk in the studio, passing instructions for Guy to an assistant who had to pretend that Michael Jackson was not in the room.
You just got a voice script that's going,
"Can you just do it a bit faster?"
Just lock into the groove, Guy. Just lock into the groove.
Anyway, so yes, all right. So, it's number one for like weeks. It's another one that's not a Christmas number one. It's just a big track,
because Michael Jackson doesn't give a shit if he's Christmas number one. It's not a thing. It's not Christmas. It's just there.
It is there. It's for a bit. It keeps various things off number one, which I can get to. But before we get to it, we'll very, very quickly deal with the fact that Jarvis made a protest. So Michael Jackson plays it one time on a German TV programme called Wet and Das on November the 4th. And then the next performance of the song is actually the Brit Awards in 96 in February.
Which was a massive coup for the Brit Awards to get Michael Jackson at the time.
To get Michael Jackson. But they invent a spurious award to give to him to get him to play. And it's a huge affair. There's like a crane that he's on. There's loads of kids. He's like bringing together rabbis and kind of imams and and Christian preachers. I mean, it's just ludicrous. And because it's so ludicrous, Jarvis, who is drunk and is encouraged by Candida from Pulp, goes onto the stage to make a protest with his friend, and he doesn't show his bum. He waggles his bum, he shows his tummy and runs off, and then is accused by Michael Jackson's people of hurting all the children.
There's literally video footage. You can see exactly what he does. He doesn't get near the stage.
He doesn't get near the stage.
He just flaps his hands a bit and then gets chased off by a man in a robe, which is really
he's actually a bodyguard. And he gets chased off, and Michael Jackson's people go really nuts, and Jarvis is in a legal pickle because they decide they're going to arrest him, and the legal representation that he takes is Bob Mortimer, who is at the Brit Awards, who was once a legal secretary.
One of the greatest bits of pop trivia of all time.
It's so good.
But poor Jarvis, that elevates him to a level of fame, and because the press is just after that, it's all like sick stunt Jarv and stuff like that, and it ruins his life. It completely ruins. It sends him absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's very difficult, and also what the tabloids do, which is really funny, is initially they're like, "This is terrible," sick stunt, he's harming the children, and then they realise that's not that everyone is on Jarvis's side, and actually the Mirror is phoned up by Paul Weller's mum, who says that Jarvis is a really nice boy, and David Bowie has recorded the whole of the. He's just there videoing it and has recorded the whole of the performance, so can show that he didn't harm anyone. So by day 2, the Mirror is like, "We love Jarvis," and they've got like a pay phone. Like, you can phone up to say, do you support Jarvis or do you support Michael Jackson, and make money out of it.
That was Piers Morgan era Mirror as well, wasn't it? So because they'd already done Pulp dirty because of the Sorted for Ease and Wiz cover, where Piers Morgan had gone, there's the thing that tells you how to hide drugs on the thing, front page. So I can't imagine Pulp were especially sympathetic to that.
No, they weren't. But anyway, it's a very lovely pop moment, and we can also say all the tracks that Michael Jackson kept off number 1, because it's slightly annoying, isn't it? It's quite a weird one.
We're getting into like peak 90s music, aren't we? 95 is where things get really exciting. It's a really it's British pop is absolutely coming alive at this point.
Yeah, and it's quite an odd kind of top 10. So at number 2 is Wonderwall, but it's the Mike Flowers Pops version. It's so weird. And then the actual Wonderwall, the Oasis version, is number 7,
which has been knocking about for ages at that point.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And then Björk, It's So Quiet is there. Everything But the Girls Missing is there. That's an absolutely brilliant track. But also like Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise. It's like there's a lot of really great tracks in that top 10, and we get Song.
Any of those.
You failed as 1995
if any of those had been Christmas number 1, it would have felt like a moment. Even Gangsta's Paradise, because it's such a good song.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
And I mean, can you imagine if It's So Quiet had been Christmas number 1? That would have been amazing, absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Because Björk presents the Top of the Pops Christmas Day special that year as well.
Oh, it would have been
amazing if she'd have been on it. But yeah, it just alas, Michael Jackson just spoils it for everyone, as he continually did for the rest of his life.
That's mean. I mean, we do love him, but no, we don't love him. He's a complicated character.
He's very complicated.
He's a very, very complicated character.
Let's not get into it.
And we'll move on. So we've got quite an interesting run, haven't we? 1996 Christmas number 1, 1997 Christmas number 1, and 1998 Christmas number 1 all belong to one particular act. What is that act, Mark?
It is the Spice Girls.
The Spice Girls. I was really quite surprised by this. I don't know why. I just hadn't quite clocked that they got 3 Christmas number 1s in a row. It's amazing.
Well, it's because there's this myth about a Christmas number 1 that it crowns you as the biggest pop star of the day. And that is sometimes true and sometimes not. Like with E17, it was true. With Take That, they didn't get it. With Wham, they didn't get it. But it's a myth that people want it. So, and they did the classic thing. They kept the third single ballad back from the album, release it at Christmas, make the video a little bit Christmassy, and it kind of. But they were the biggest acts in the country. They're getting on to be the biggest band in the world at that point. Like, it was an absolute, like, dead cert. But then the next year, I feel like they that's the risk. The next year is like, can we do it again? Because no one had done, apart from the Beatles, way back before anyone cared about Christmas number one. No one had got two in a row before.
And also, it's interesting because if you track the tracks, so the tracks are, so 1996, it's Two Become One, and then 97, it's Too Much, and 98, it's Goodbye. It's like the story of the Spice Girls in there, meaning that Two Become One it's a great song, it's a ballad, they look like themselves. Mm-hmm. You know, it's quite an interesting video, meaning that it's like done on green screen and then they put New York in behind it, but they look like a kind of...
Very nice coats.
They look lovely. Yeah, it's like, you know, when they first arrived, it's like them, but just slightly smooth, it's slightly more polished, isn't it? That's what it is.
A bit more wintry.
Yeah, and like, you know, they're just slightly styled in a way that maybe they weren't before. But then when you get to 97, when they're doing Too Much, that is the product of Spice World, their the movie,
and the name of and the second album,
and their second album, and they're actually at the end of their tether. Like they're completely done for. And then Goodbye is obviously Goodbye, and Jerry has left. And so it's quite interesting as an arc.
And they're completely separate in the Too Much videos. Yeah. Every one of them's got their own little storyline. And they're sort of leaning into each of their characters a bit. Yeah. But it was the same thing. They obviously like earmarked. Oh, we'll do another. They knocked out another album very quickly. Like, that was one album 96, one album 97. People don't move that quickly usually, even then. And it was like, we'll ring fence the ballad. Yeah. And by then, of course, the Spice Girls were so massive, it was always going to be Christmas number one. No one was going to touch them. The third one's the interesting one because the third one didn't come from an album. It did eventually get included on their third album.
But it's like just written separately, wasn't it?
At that point, it's like, well, we need to have. We've got Christmas number one for 2 years in a row. Like, this is our thing now. And also, I think because Jerry had left, I feel like they needed to capitalize one more, get it in. Like, for the brand, let's lock in another massive success just to prove that we can still manage without her, that we're still a force, which of course in the end they couldn't. Yeah,
it's true. Okay, let's get into some more detail about Two Become One, which was the 1996 Christmas number one. It's at the top for 3 weeks. It's their third track, which is always traditionally a ballad. It's their second million-selling single, their first Christmas number one. It's a success.
Solid safe sex message.
Yes, which is interesting because I had missed this. I just had missed it. They're writing the song. They decide it's a little bit too slushy, so they decide to put in a bit about contraception, which had completely passed me by, which is be a little bit wiser, baby. Put it on, it on. Which in my head was get it on. I hadn't even noticed that it was put it on. But so, like, you know, they were being sensible.
You can imagine somebody coming up with that idea and just go, I bet it was Jerry Halliwell, just going, we'll get a good message over to our young fans. Those who get it will get it.
It's sweet, I think. I think it's sweet. And also they changed the second line of the second verse. So initially they were going to have boys and girls feel good together, and they changed it to love will bring us back together, so it's not so heteronormative, basically. It was originally going to be released a week earlier, but they decided to delay it because there was a tribute single to the children killed at the Dunblane tragedy called Dunblane's Knocking on Heaven's Door, and that was at the top of the UK singles chart, so they delayed it, and then they released theirs, so that basically more money would be made. Okay, I'm going to also mention who else was in the top 10 that year? Because for me, it's quite a good selection of tracks. At number 4, Unbreak My Heart.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Incredible.
By Tony Braxton, also known as Unhook My Bra. I mean, an absolute banger, that one. I mean, like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, it's in my head. I love that song. Number 7, The Prodigy, Breathe. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
amazing.
Absolutely incredible. Amazing. Imagine if that had been Christmas.
I know, it would be so exciting. Anyway, Celine Dion is at number 9 with All By Myself. Oh. It's all right. And then number 10 is Don't Marry Her.
Oh,
from Beautiful South, which is
a
like,
great song. Yeah.
From Beautiful South, beautiful.
Yeah, which is love it if it wasn't the radio edit that got played as well.
Yes, exactly.
Because that's a brilliant, proper kind of bitter Paul Heaton song. Yeah, and I genuinely love that song.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I love all those songs. So like, Anyway, that's number 1, and I love the Spice Girls, so I'm quite happy with it. The video's cute. We like it. Okay, 97, Too Much. This one, it goes to number 1 for 2 weeks. You know, they basically had 6 number ones consecutively. This is their 6th one. And they're the first act to have their first 6 singles reach number 1 in the UK. I mean, they're massive.
Yeah,
they're absolutely massive.
Absolutely phenomenon by this point.
Yeah,
they're on
really,
Pepsi cans.
really
They're
are.
on, and by this point they're massive in America as well. And they hadn't even toured yet. They hadn't even done a live tour.
Yeah, it's so mad. In June 97, they started filming Spice World, right? So obviously it's a film that takes up quite a lot of time, but simultaneously they're basically starting the first marketing meetings for their album, Spice World, which they haven't even written. So they have to, I mean, it's so difficult.
You can see why they were nuts. They ran too far too fast.
Yeah,
it was always going to happen.
It's also that classic record company thing where, you know, obviously the Spice Girls are a great band, but they are still, you know, a girl band or a boy band. They get bullied no matter how tough they are. And they're pretty good together, I think, the Spice Girls. They're still being slightly bullied by their record company.
Oh, absolutely.
They just
We're just like wring it out of them as much as we can.
Yeah.
Send these poor kids off to work as hard as they can and down the pop mines.
Yes, exactly.
But they really are. They work. If you look at the schedule of any boy band or girl band at their peak, it's relentless. It's brutal.
Yeah, it's really brutal. So basically what happens is they're filming the films. So they're on the film set. At every film set, so when they're moving around different locations, there's a Winnebago with a mobile recording studio in there. So basically when you're not performing, get in there and do your job. I mean, it's just like, it's pretty shite. So the video, they all look lovely in the video, but they all are, as you say, very separate, aren't they? They're all basically in their own little separate film, aren't they?
Yeah. Exactly that. And like Jerry's doing a Marilyn Monroe thing. And
she's basically, I've got them written down where all their references are. So Jerry is like you say, kind of like, she's like a torch singer. She's meant to be Rita Hayworth in Gilda. Anyway, there you go. Sorry. Mel C is like a kind of ninja warrior. She's referencing Year of the Dragon. Mel B is referencing Mad Max, which is so suitable for her. She's absolutely brilliant. Emma Bunton is in the bedroom with swirling teddies. She's referencing Poltergeist.
Oh well, obviously that's what I thought.
You just think it's Emma being cute, right?
No, apparently it's a horror film. Yeah. Okay.
And then Victoria Beckham is, and I have to say, in pretty much her best ever outfit, don't you think?
I can't. I'm trying to picture it, and I can't picture it. She is in
an absolutely slinky to all hell catsuit. And it's
I do remember it.
Catsuit,
high ponytail.
And high ponytail, and she's got ears. She's referencing Catwoman from Batman Returns, and she looks the absolute bollocks.
Yeah, no, she does. She looks great.
She looks completely brilliant. So anyway, that's the video, but as you say, they're doing everything separately because they're all working so hard. So it's quite a weird one. Okay, that year, these were the things that they kept off number 1. I'm going to start at the bottom. Torn by Natalie Imbruglia.
Oh, that's such a good song.
Yeah, that was number 8. Angels by Robbie Williams.
Okay, a masterpiece.
Yeah, absolutely. That's at number 7. It only gets to number 5, that's right.
Wow.
I know. In my head, it was like number 1.
I thought it was at least a number 2. Yeah, okay, interesting.
Number 5. Barbie Girl.
Barbie Girl was unescapable that year.
Yeah, and that was number 6. All Saints Never Ever, that's number 4.
Which is an incredible song.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And at number 2, Teletubbies Say Uh-oh.
Which is we're into more familiar Christmas number 1 territory there. What's interesting, because you'd think a lot of the big hitters would run scared from the Spice Girls, but you've got some really big songs there. The kind of although actually, Angels was kept as the one that's going to push Robbie over the edge, and it absolutely did. I think that's probably the one that's endured most out of that entire list.
Yeah. What? Not the Teletubbies?
Weirdly, no. They said uh-oh, and they're still around, They're
still around, and they're still very close to my heart, but not for their singing, I have to say. Okay, 1998, also a Spice Girls number 1, and it is Goodbye. Okay, so Jerry leaves at the end of May in 1998. She's basically saying that she leaves, she says, kind of depression, differences between the group. She wants to make an announcement about a breast cancer charity, and she feels like she can't while she's in the Spice Girls, although why? I don't get that. But anyway, whatever. She leaves. They're about to go on a tour of North America, so it's a massive deal. And actually, after she leaves, 2 records with her featuring her are released. So one is this, I don't even remember this, the official theme of the England national football team for the 1998 World Cup.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
How does it feel to be on top of the world?
Written by Ian McCulloch.
Passed me by, mate. Yeah. I can't remember that one at all.
It's completely boring.
Okay, fine. And then also Viva Forever.
Yeah, which is not in the video, but she is. There's a CGI fairy of her in the video.
Exactly. Okay. But Goodbye is quite interesting because it's the first song that they do without her singing on it. And the weird thing about Goodbye is it's about a relationship breaking up, but it's actually about, in the end,
very clearly.
Jerry Halliwell leaving.
Goodbye, my friend.
Yeah.
I know you said you're gone, but I can still feel you here.
Yeah, it's just interesting, I think.
Great Mel C vocal on that.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I love all this. So basically there's a bit like Mel B is saying, it's the first time I've cried listening to one of our songs. It's not, it's not about us breaking up. It's about, and then Mel C says it's originally about a relationship ending, but now it's about Jerry. It's really sad. And then Jerry just goes, that she finds it very flattering that they dedicated it to me. It's so Jerry.
Oh, that's incredible. Well done.
Isn't she great?
She's amazing. But it's really circling the wagons, though. It's them going, we're still here. Yeah. We can still do this. We can still... And I think it must have been incredibly important for them to get Christmas number one because they wouldn't have had an album in the pipeline at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like we have to do something. We have to do something to make sure we're still in the mix, that people are still thinking about us. They're not going to write us off now that one of us has left.
I think what's interesting about Goodbye as well is when you listen to it, this is going to sound a bit weird, but I know you'll understand. It's quite like an Oasis song. If you listen to it with Oasis in your head, the way that the chorus moves and the key changes, the keys and the way it's used, it's really Oasis-y.
I can totally hear it, yeah.
And that's, for me, is quite interesting because obviously it's 97, it's post-Oasis, everything's got
it's around the time. Oasis are releasing like all around the world at the same time, which has got a similar kind of cycle to it.
Yeah, it's funny. It's really funny. Anyway.
It's a really well-produced record, Goodbye. It's like stick it on headphones. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, I think it's great. The video's okay. They're all in different cars. Victoria's got her cute haircut, though. I really like that haircut when her haircut is short because I like short hair. She looks lovely. Okay, this is what it kept off number one.
In 1998, things are getting a bit things were on the wobble in British pop by 98.
Yeah, you're going to feel this with this one. I'm going to start. I'm going to say what it kept from being Christmas number one, and number two is Chocolate Salty Balls by the chef from South Park.
I remember that very well. Yeah, I mean that's just again, it's novelty. This would only happen at Christmas, kind of thing.
Okay, and this is the most
Isaac Hayes though, bless him.
Yeah, I know, but still. Okay, this is the most kind of cool Britannia thing ever. It's number three, especially for you. By
is it Denise and Johnny?
Yeah, Denise and Johnny.
Incredible, absolutely incredible. Again only happens at Christmas.
Yeah, it's like a big breakfast. I mean, it's a big breakfast version of Kylie and Jason.
And Jason, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that.
I mean, musically, it doesn't really hold up.
Shouldn't be allowed, as far as I'm concerned. And this had been number one, and number four was Believe by Cher.
Oh yeah,
so that's fine. Then we're happy about
and that had been knocking around for ages.
Yeah. And then at number 10. There is Jane McDonald with Cruise into Christmas.
She was massive though, and she had that Robson and Jerome appeal of like the Nana's bought it.
I don't understand her appeal. I'm sorry.
It was because it was for Nanas. That was who was buying those records.
Lovely woman, but no.
No, it's the same people that probably would have bought a Cilla Black record. That kind of thing. It's it's old people like those because they're proper. It's like Renee and Renata from 1982.
Yeah, we see. I like that one, but no, I don't get that one. Anyway, so with Goodbye, the Spice Girls become the first act to have 3 consecutive Christmas number one singles since the Beatles in 1965. Mm-hmm. So there you go. I mean, it's pretty good.
And worthy of it, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's a good one. Okay, we've got a final Christmas number one. Right. And I don't want to be mean, but for me, this is not a great track.
It's not a great song by not a great band. It's a double A-side, actually, and neither of them are particularly great songs.
Well, they're great songs, but they're not treated in a very great way. Okay, it's Westlife with a double A-side, I Have a Dream, which is obviously an ABBA song, which is great, and Seasons in the Sun. I mean, they're both covers, and they cover them very, very badly.
I love ABBA. I never really liked I Have a Dream. I do like Season in the Sun.
Yeah.
I think Seasons in the Sun is a really bleak song. And
yes, I was going to say, it's really
melancholy
spooky.
song. And,
it's a bit freaky.
It was Kurt Cobain's favourite song. Or one of them,
oh my God.
Weirdly.
Well, okay, yeah, all right. It's a great song, but it's very, very sad. Okay, it's Westlife. I have to say, I try really hard with Westlife, but I cannot remember any of them except Brian McFadden. I watched the video. The video is, when boy bands... They make a little bit of money and they decide that what they want to be is a little classier and maybe a little harder. So what they do is wear black leather. So it's shiny black leather and slightly longer styled hair, and they're wandering around something that's vaguely industrial. Do you know what I mean?
If you're going to be a little harder and a little edgier, why are you covering ABBA?
Yeah. I mean, it's just
Why are you
dreadful.
doing that choice of two songs? Like,
Yeah.
absolutely. No, they're dreadful. But but Westlife, like, I think it was their fifth number one in a row. Something like that. Fourth, right? Yeah,
Yep.
they were unstoppable at that point. They were huge. They're a rare band that has both the young girl and the granny pound. Like,
Yeah.
and it is not a phrase I expected to say today. I didn't think I'd coin the phrase granny pound today. I'm gonna form a
happy with
band
Granny
called that. But that's they like because they're syrupy and soppy, and old ladies like them, but also 9-year-olds like them. My younger sister was obsessed with Westlife.
Oh, I wish she'd been offered something better. Anyway, I mean, I'm going to name check them, but I had to write them down because I couldn't remember other than Brian McFadden, Nicky Byrne, Shane Filan, Cian Egan, and Mark Fahey.
I can picture 3 of them. I don't know what Nicky Byrne looked like. I can picture Shane, I can picture Mark, and the other 2, one of them I think I know what he looks like, but I'm not sure which one it is.
They look quite similar. They both got blonde hair. Anyway, whatever. Shall I tell you who they keep off? Very such. This is quite funny. The Cuban Boys are at number 4, which is really? That's they're comedy. But anyway, at number 6, Craig David with the Artful Dodger. Rewind, the crowd say Bo Selector.
Oh, you can see the ship moving of British pop, can't you? You can see what's happening.
Everything's just moving. And at number 8 is Mr. Hanky, the Christmas Poo.
Oh, okay, South Park again.
South Park, which I had not known about.
It's a worse, it's not got the charm of chocolate salty balls.
It really hasn't. I've got the lyrics. Shall I read you some?
I think I know them, weirdly.
Oh my God, do you? Okay. Small and brown, he comes from you. Sit on the toilet, here he comes. Squeeze him tween your festive buns. A present from down below. Spreading joy with a howdy ho. He's seen the love inside of you. 'Cause he's a piece of poo.
My side's how they split. And then it goes, Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo.
You know it. My God.
I mean, I was 18. South Park was on. You couldn't really avoid it.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, it's not a great moment.
I'm not fond of it, but
No.
I do. But I have the kind of brain that retains that sort of thing.
That's fair enough. You know, this is why you're here and this is why we love it. Okay, there is a kind of element to this final Christmas number one of the 90s that ties it with the first Christmas number one of the 1990s, the Cliff Richard one. What is that element?
It's Cliff Richard. This was Cliff's last attempt to get a Christmas number one.
Yeah.
And it's a really interesting story. Cliff wants to, because Cliff's just parted ways with EMI because he's really dissatisfied with how they promoted his record. Then somebody brings him Millennium Prayer. Like, it's Millennium Prayer, by the way. It's Cliff singing the words of the Lord's Prayer to the theme of Auld Lang Syne, which is a bit cynical, actually, for somebody who's being a bit religious. He looked at Robbie Williams as going, he had a massive hit by putting the word millennium on a song, right? We'll have a go at that.
Yeah.
But EMI actually say they'll release it, but they go, we don't think it's a hit, but we'll release it for you. And he goes, no, I'm going to take it to somebody who it will be a hit, who think it's a hit, and he takes it to another label, and it comes out, and the BBC go, no. Absolutely not. But that causes this weird furore. Like the BBC refused to playlist it because it's the Lord's Prayer, and then you get this huge Cliff banned by the BBC have to release a statement to say we didn't ban it, we just didn't put it on the playlist. Every DJ is absolutely allowed to play it if they want to. It's not banned.
It's just not on our playlist.
There was a protest. Some Cliff fans tried to organise a protest outside Broadcasting House about it, which I read about in a newspaper article, and I was like, I wonder how many people went, and it took me ages to find out. It was 12.
They were very dedicated.
Not an effective, but it was a huge hit. It was a massive, massive hit. And because he does this one of those ITV audience with shows, and he plays Millennium Prayer at the end of it. So, and he's still a massive name at this point. So that gets it into everyone's house at tea time. And he's on a massive tour. He just sells like 10 dates at the NEC.
Wow.
Sells
huge.
Out. And he finishes every single one of them by playing Millennium Prayer whilst being held aloft above the audience. So it is massive. It is
in a strange
massive
white light.
And it does, exactly. And it's exactly as messianic as Michael Jackson was, although I think more valid. And it is huge, but it doesn't get to Christmas number one. Because
it does go to number one.
It goes to number one, it gets there, and it is a huge hit, and he has to be on top of the pops. And the most controversial opinion I have about any of these songs, and people will hate me for this, Millennium Prayer is a good record. Listen to it on headphones. It is a good, like Cliff comes out in 1956, 6, 7, somewhere like that.
Yeah.
And he's the British Elvis. And you listen to Millennium Prayer, that is a 70s Elvis song. Put that next to Elvis doing his gospel stuff. And Cliff sounds like he means it. He really sounds like he cares. His voice is great on it. And it's actually quite a stirring record. And I wouldn't listen to it out of choice, but actually, if you actually listen to it, it's not that naff a record. It's actually a really well-constructed record.
It needs to be a bit more naffery.
I think it might have been. But he was quite bitter about it not being Christmas number one. And he felt like the label did him dirty and they should have released it 2 weeks later. Because if he'd released it 2 weeks later, he would have broken the record it would have equaled the Beatles record for 4 Christmas number ones.
Yeah.
And then he reckons, had it been Christmas number one, it would have given him the momentum to have still been number one and been the first number one of the year 2000, meaning he'd have had a number one single in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s and 2000s, which meant which no one else had ever done before. And he didn't get that. Do you know who was the first number one of the 2000s?
I can't remember who.
It was Manic Street Preachers, Masters Against the Classes.
Oh, well, that's fine.
Which is
me.
fine. So absolutely fine. I bought that. I was at the Millennium Stadium that year. I bought that single.
I'm sorry, Cliff. We approve.
Yeah, and that for me was a moment. So I was quite happy for that.
Yeah, okay. Well, poor old Cliff.
I would have liked Cliff to have got that record though.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but I'm happy with the Manics. Anyway, that's our roundup. I think some good ones, right?
There's some good. I mean, you've got some genuine classics there. You've got E17. You've got, I think, at least one of those Spice Girls singles. I think Two Become One is a genuinely brilliant song. You've got immortal classic I Will Always Love You. There's some.
You've got Mr Blobby,
and then you've got Mr Blobby. I think Mr. Blobby is the most interesting one out of them because it's like because you just kind of have to step back and go, how did it happen? Yeah. How did this happen? How was it allowed? How did people engage with it? It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. And that to me is the Christmas number one thing, that this only would happen in this country and it would only happen at Christmas. It wouldn't happen at any other time of the year and no one else. There's a brilliant New York Times article where they try and understand Mr. Blobby and it's just completely baffled.
It's because they don't get panto. They just don't get any of that stuff.
They describe him as Barney the dinosaur on acid, which is
Barney the dinosaur's boring.
Yeah, totally. I'd much rather have Mr. Blobby staggering into a TV studio, destroying everything in sight.
Exactly. Yes, quite. Okay, so here at Talk 90s to Me, we don't want the whales to cry, so we like to play them some cute 90s tunes from our Talk 90s to Me Spotify playlist. Okay, this is the moment where you add a track, Mark. Which track would you like to add?
I feel like we need to be on brand, so I'm going to choose one of the Christmas number ones, and I'm going to choose the one that I think represents everything. Not Mr. Blobby. I know I said Mr. Blobby is a representative Christmas number one, but let's go for a quality song. I'm going to go with E17. I think it's an incredible piece of music. I think it's a brilliant production. I think Tony Mortimer knocked it out of the park. It is so utterly miserable, and
it's so lovely, and the Parkers are great.
And the Parkers are great. I love the fact that Brian Harvey nearly got his lights punched out by refusing to sing it, and then but got coaxed round to it in the end. And it's just it is a really good song, and it's E17 at their peak, and it is British boy banddom at its peak, and it is British Christmas number ones at their peak. It's a wonderful piece, and I'm really, 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 really glad it exists.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so Stay Another Day, E17 is there for you. Okay, that was Talk 90s to Me featuring the fabulous Marc Burrows, whose brilliant book, The Story of the Christmas number one, Mistletoe and Vinyl. I love that joke. It's out right now and makes a fabulous Christmas present.
Last minute fabulous Christmas present. Can I do a plug for a thing?
Please do a plug.
I'm also on tour with, and this is relevant, I'm also on tour with my stand-up show, the Britpop show, which was called the Britpop Hour in Edinburgh, but the touring version is 90 minutes, so I couldn't use that title. But March, April, May, June across the UK, I'm doing my Britpop Hour show.
Fabulous. So where will they find it? Have you got a website they go to?
It's markburrows.co.uk, Mark with a C. All the dates are there, and I'm basically everywhere. I'm at an art centre near you, talking about Jarvis and playing a Union Jack guitar and quite enjoying myself.
Perfect. Okay. And if you're looking for another panic stocking filler, well, why not pick up a copy of Uncommon People, Britpop and Beyond in 20 Songs by me? This is the last ever time I'm plugging this. I'm over it now. That's it. In 2026, there will be no more mentioning of it. Okay. Subscribe to Talk 90s to Me on your podcast app. Join our Patreon for gorgeous merch and special extra episodes about silly things. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Blue Sky, and have a happy Christmas and a 90s New Year. See you in 2026.